I see what I gotta do. Well, let's see here first. Item. Ew! What's that? Ew! Ew! What are you? Ew! 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 Bye. That was inside a jar. Gross. Oh, does that what they look like inside the jar? Oh.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm Saladino.
We shall never find that lovely land or might have been. I can never be your king, nor you can be my queen.
Former Sweet Baby Inc. employee confirms company is doubling down on woke agenda. They're not gonna stop us. They double and triple down because this is their mission. They want to destroy games as we know it, even though they know their agenda isn't popular. These people are not artists. They're activists. So Trump was elected president again, this time by a landslide. He not only won the Electoral College vote, but he won the popular vote as well. Talk about a mandate. I almost think these activists pushed their agenda so hard this year, bringing up Gamergate again and all this stuff, hoping Trump would get elected so that they could keep pushing the message. They need to drag into slay. They need something to perform about. They need something to cry about on TikTok or Twitter. They need something to act out over. And they'd rather be miserable under a president they don't like. That doesn't really affect them in any way, really. For the most part, a lot of these people who are acting up like this, they'd rather act up than do things to make their side seem more appealing. Look at this quote retweet from Alyssa McCunty. So this original poster, Prance, of course, tweets, "Regardless of the election's results, it's obvious this country has gotten way more right-wing, especially amongst men, and I think a lot of that is what is fed to us online. We have to figure out a way to stop every dude under 35 from turning into crypto Hitler." I think one way would be to stop calling every person who likes jiggle physics in video games crypto Hitler. But anyway, so Mercante retweeted it, adding this quote, "It starts with the nerds. I've been saying this. It starts with the nerds." So she's not a nerd then, right? She's in journalism, in the media, talking about video games. But to her, gamers are nerds. They've infested the hobby as a stepping stone to something else. But they don't have actual talent, and they're not smart, so they're stuck. They hate gamers, and yet have the nerve to get mad because we hate them back.
How dare you?
Not for who they are, or how they identify, but what they're doing to gaming. And what they're doing to gaming is solely done because they hate who we are. But they're the good guys on the right side of history. It's insane. So another quote retweet here, somebody named Joel Berry. "When minorities are no longer politically useful to them, compassionate leftists take off their masks." And the original tweet is, "Fuck Latinos and Arabs. There, I said it. Hope you all get deported and banned." This is woke. Weaponizing so-called marginalized people against straight white men. This is why every black woman lead in a game, or in comics, or television, or movies, is an ugly fat lesbian. If they were really trying to be inclusive, they would be showing the racist chuds that black women can be beautiful too. But they don't want you to think black women are beautiful. The only black women they know look like grocery store aunties or Miss Pearl down at the DMV. And these ugly-ass trans women and these ugly-ass white blue-haired land whales aren't about to have white men looking at actually beautiful black women. Watch what happens to Showa if they remake Resident Evil 5. We all know. Former Sweet Baby Inc. employee confirms company is doubling down on woke agenda. They're not gonna stop us. You can't make us buy your games, idiot. Grant Roberts, a former Sweet Baby Inc. employee who is now the narrative director and associate studio director at Longdo, I haven't heard of them, made it clear that the company has no plans to change despite the massive backlash it has received for pushing its woke ideology into video games. Well, I know now not to fuck with Longdo, whoever they are. Let me see. Let me check these people out. Ex-Disco Elysium devs form Longdo, focused on innovation and trailblazing, not replication. New studio working on narrative-led RPG. Also features former Bungie and Rockstar talent on the team. Damn. Disco Elysium is excellent.
Get up, detective. One last time. The great city at the end of the world is waiting. So, get out there, solve the murder with a unique skill system at your disposal.
It's a shame they hired a clown like this Roberts guy.
Why?
Roberts, who worked with Sweet Baby Inc. as a narrative director for a year and a half, told The Gamer, those assholes, that developers are still working with the company and that the backlash will not stop the company's agenda. All right, idiots. You dig your own grave. Roberts first asserted that companies were not pulling their support from Sweet Baby Inc. When it really reached its apex, when Elon Musk was tweeting about us, companies were reaching out to us privately and showing support. Nobody was pulling that support. If you keep supporting them, this is going to be on you. Everything that happens to your company, that's going to be on you. He then attempted to explain why there is hardly any support for the company being made publicly. I think the reason why we've had more support privately than publicly is because when people do speak up publicly, we knew that they were opening themselves up to attacks. Nobody's attacking these people. We just mentioned if somebody says, like, I don't know, Compulsion Games, if they speak up saying, yeah, we hate gamers and we love Sweet Baby Inc., people will say, listen to these assholes. You know, don't buy games from them either. It's not an attack. We're pointing out the people who are attacking gamers. Roberts went on to declare that he wished more companies did speak out publicly to defend Sweet Baby Inc. and its woke agenda. What I personally would have liked to see is more institutions saying that this is wrong, that this is happening, that people are being targeted in this way. They're not being targeted. And it's funny how no outlet ever mentions how, quote-unquote, Gamergate 2.0 even started. Sweet Baby Inc. started this. Why would you defend a company that stupidly had an employee cause all that attention to themselves? And once you mobilize gamers against you, you're done. That's it. Because all we have to do is not buy your games. You can talk about harassment all you want to, but you know the real problem is if we know you're behind this, we're not going to support it. All right, so Roberts goes on to say that basically he wished that companies were more public about the fact that Sweet Baby Inc. isn't just a DEI company or a company that makes things more woke. Not that there's anything wrong with that in the first place. There's something absolutely wrong with that. But even if there was, that's not everything that we do, he continued. It would have been nice to have seen more people and institutions learn the lessons of 10 years ago. So Roberts, despite the likes of ugly-ass Alyssa McConte and ugly-ass Ash Parrish, admits that Sweet Baby Inc. is a DEI company. What's crazy is that despite this recent damage control tour Kim Belair went on, which I think was partly a desperate attempt to gather goodwill ahead of the release of Unknown 9. But this tour she went on where she kept pushing this talking point that Sweet Baby Inc. were just a narrative consultancy group. Like, that's somehow separate from woke or DEI, when it clearly isn't. DEI isn't just a black character or just a gay character just being included in the game. It's shit like this.
Here's the ginger.
Thank you.
So, I'm non-binary.
What does that mean?
It means I don't feel like a man or a woman.
If you are neither a man nor a woman, then what are you?
Non-binary. I just said, and I'm going to use they instead of she from now on.
And anyway, Belair herself has said numerous times how important representation is. I mean, she did a whole TED talk about it. She straight up brags about it.
And I remember there's another project where someone said, oh, we want to have a tourist character come in and she's going to be French. So I said, okay, well, let's make her a person of color. Maybe she could be Korean or something. And they said, no, she's already French. And I thought, okay, well, I want to do better than this.
So let's see, back to Roberts. While he left Sweet Baby Inc. seemingly in October, he informed the gamer he would go back.
It is happening again. It is happening again.
I would go back to work at Sweet Baby Inc. in a heartbeat. I would hire Sweet Baby in a heartbeat. This doesn't bode well for Long Do. Hiring this Roberts clown is already a red flag, but if they let this cuck hire Sweet Baby Inc. to work with them, Long Do is not long for this world. Even though I've been doing this for a quarter of a century, I still learned an incredible amount from the people there, both about game development and otherwise. Even with the experiences of the last year and a half, which have been mostly bad, I've learned a lot during that as well, he said. Sure.
Just a quick context before I show you the next clip. This will give you a clear idea why this is probably one of the most laziest game came out this year. This scene is set in Bengal region of India, back in 1912. To make the area sound crowded like a bustling market, the devs added random conversation from the internet. How do I know? Well, these NPCs talking in Bangladeshi Bengali language, which is very similar to my mother tongue, which is Indian Bengali language. I added subtitle. Now enjoy.
It may not be Sweet Baby Inc.'s fault that the devs at Reflector were so lazy as to just put random bullshit they found online as NPC dialogue, but the point of groups like Sweet Baby Inc. is that they are supposed to improve games, and Unknown 9 in particular was supposed to be Kim Belair's coming out party as this important story architect kicking off this entire expansive universe. And they couldn't inspire the actual development team beyond this.
What do you want out of all this, Haruna?
You want my biography? Why do you care?
Not a good start.
I reckon I know just about every last servant's entrance this man has got. Just follow me. I'll get us... Hey! Hey! There's no way I'm squeezing through there.
No?
This is gonna be a regular thing with you, isn't it?
Next, Roberts declared that Sweet Baby's woke agenda is inevitable. The world is the way it is now. These games are more inclusive for people. Games are more authentic. And it doesn't matter whether you think that's true or not. It's happening.
Who's that?
Do you want the ride or not? I'm after something called the Morning Star. You know what that is?
I reckon I don't.
It's crazier how the more the game goes on, the uglier Haruna gets. Remember, this is the person the character is actually based on. And so, no matter what these people do, they're not going to stop us. They're not going to stop the way that the world is now, he declared. What do you mean, do? We don't have to do anything. We don't need you. My backlog alone is over 300 games, and that's not counting all the games I bought on Steam, even though I haven't even gotten into PC gaming yet. That's not counting the games that I want to replay again, my favorite games. I mean, these idiot devs and activists can threaten us all they want to. They can hire these shitty gaming journalists to be a part of the gaming community because, oh yes, Alyssa Mercante is no longer with Kotaku. Now, Kotaku has laid off at least 2 or 3 of their 5 or 6 employees that they have left. Now, Mercante probably did leave on her own. She probably wasn't laid off. I feel like they wouldn't lay her off along with like Calvin Pettit because they don't want to give any more fuel for the Chuds. They don't want the Chuds to look like they've had a victory. And so I feel like Mercante would have stopped them from actually letting her go. Or if they were going to let her go, They're allowing her to say, okay, she left on her own terms. But it looks like all she's doing now, just like other people in the journalist side of things, she's just going to go into the actual gaming industry. She's going to be a consultant. She's going to probably start trying to write games and stuff like that. Now, they can do all this stuff. I don't care if people like this are in the industry. The problem is, since they're activists, they're trying to bring the industry down. They're not trying to just add to it. They're trying to take away from it and destroy it. And that's the problem. And now with Trump as president again, I really do believe that they're going to double and triple down. It doesn't really mean anything. It's just going to be a shame to watch once great franchises like Dragon Age be flushed down the toilet. But there are things that we're just going to have to accept and give up and move on with. They're the ones who are hurting themselves ultimately. Us, we're going to be gamers no matter what. And we're going to find games that we're going to enjoy. And they could double and triple down and threaten us with their stupidity. But their stupidity is only hurting them.